I'm Jason Klom, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. The year is 1973. The artists Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, the album, The Incomplete Works of Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks. And my guest this week is Phil Rosenthal. Thank you so much for doing the show.
It's very nice to be here.
So before, I always ask people why they picked the album, but before we get to that, I never ask anybody this, but I'm very curious. Do you remember the first joke you ever wrote?
Oh, goodness.
Like consciously wrote, maybe not even told your parents.
Wow. I honestly don't. I remember in second grade, I drew something. I drew a cartoon of Ralph and Norton because I loved the Honeymooners. Mm-hmm. And I wrote a bubble, what they were saying to each other. And Ralph says, are you looking for a fat lip? And I had Norton saying, if I was looking for a fat anything, I'd know where to find it. And I don't even know if that was from the regular Honeymooners. I'm guessing, I didn't write it, I'm guessing that it was maybe from, the Honeymooners started as sketches on the Jackie Gleason show.
Right, yeah.
And then that one year they just took and made the sitcom. I think in a break between the two seasons, they did the famous 39. And the lost episodes that we know, what they call the lost episodes that look terrible on Kinescope, those are the sketches from the Jackie Gleason show.
That I did not know. I did not know that was the chronology of it. That's interesting.
Yes.
So
I think that line must have come from the sketches because I don't remember it from the original 39. Maybe your listeners can correct me. But.
Maybe. We'll see. They like, the internet likes to do that. Do you remember the first time you got a joke like in print or published or like where people could see it? I'm asking the real toughies today, apparently.
They are. You're asking someone to go back a ways.
A little bit. I will never repeat the first joke I ever wrote. I'm saving it for if I ever write a book based on this podcast because it's terrible.
Well,
I remember it.
You do? But
it's horrible. So I have a feeling yours will be better.
I don't know if it's better. And I don't remember the first time. I mean, I certainly remember writing for TV and having it out there.
Yeah.
And that was for something terrible. That was, we did the Robert Mitchum sitcom.
Oh my. I did not know this was a thing. I missed that in my research.
That was 30 years ago when I first got to town here in Hollywood. And I was a baby writer. I had a partner at the time.
Okay.
And we wrote on that show. And, the first episode of TV that we ever wrote, we were in heaven. We couldn't believe that we were writing something that was actually being filmed.
Of course.
All the while knowing it was terrible. But we're so excited and laughing because it was our stuff. I mean, it doesn't get lamer than that, laughing at your own stuff.
Of course.
But the thing that really stands out as the first time something big happened, I'm going to say two things. One was I got to write for the President of the United States. I got to write when that meant something. It was for President Clinton, and there's like a humor season in Washington. I know it's year round now, but then it was April, the Gridiron Dinner, the radio and TV dinner, the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
And I remember writing a joke for him and the president, saying that joke.
Yeah. Did he nail it? He had to have.
He was really good.
Yeah, of course he was.
And then Obama was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was huge. And the other thing was after we did Raymond for several years, Saturday Night Live called and said they wanted Ray to host. And I wrote a sketch that got on.
Holy crap. Was it still big? Like, even though you've got the most successful sitcom on television, you're like, I'm still writing for SNL.
Yes, because SNL predates Raymond.
Of course.
I'm watching SNL's premiere at 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
And thinking it's the funniest thing and rarely missing a Saturday.
Yeah.
Like really watching that all the time. Really important. And, you can't believe you're now a part of that legacy.
Of course.
In that tiny way.
Yeah.
You're in there.
Yeah.
And so that was big.
That's amazing. Okay, now this is a weird question, and it's obviously leading somewhere, but were you the only Phil Rosenthal in your town?
Yes,
I
but
have a reason to ask.
but right now I'm not the only.
You're not. Okay.
No, there's a folk singer.
Yes,
in
I
New
know
England,
of him. Mm-hmm.
and then there's a famous sports columnist from Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
And I
yes.
met him. He actually called me and said we should meet. And I thought, wow, that's a slow news day at the paper. But we met, and I remember sitting there waiting for him to come in the restaurant and thinking, I hope I'm the cute one.
So here's why I ask if you remember your first joke.
Yes.
So I never do this, so I don't know why I got a wild hair to do this today.
Yes.
No idea. But I decided to do a little research, and I found something in an old newspaper archive. Can I read something to you? You tell me if this is you or not.
Oh, boy.
It's from 1974. Dear Santa, I would like a baby brother for Christmas.
Great.
My mother says this is not possible. Love, Phil Rosenthal. News
Yes. Okay. That is great that you found that. I can't believe that you found that. Mm-hmm. My friend Stephen Goldenberg wrote that as me to get at me like a practical joke.
So you're 14. Your other friend, who I'm assuming is around the same age, does this just to F with you.
And then I wrote a letter to Santa
You did?
in the local paper as him. Dear Santa, would you tell Linda Greenberg to please speak to me? So outing his love for this girl, right?
Oh, my God.
And, taking it up a notch, like, oh, you're going to go after my mother? I'm going after you and your sweetheart.
See, this is what blew my mind. I'm like, if he actually wrote this, his first joke that ever got published is still also about his mother. But I love that your friend establishes a nice little pattern for you.
It's funny that you mentioned this because he and I actually did, like, for fun. Mm-hmm. We were both nerds, and I think you can relate to this with you mentioned your friend who lives in Idaho, mm-hmm. you guys upstate New York doing these kind of sketches and stuff. We did this on an old Panasonic tape recorder in the style of Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner.
Oh, good.
We wanted to do sketches like that. We just loved it so much. Mm-hmm. And, I know we're getting to this, but these records were a gigantic influence on my life. Mm-hmm. And I'm, listening to them now again in getting ready for seeing you today. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard them in a very long time.
I was going to ask. I was wondering.
A very long time. And yet, the moment you know what it's like to revisit something that you knew very, very well.
For sure.
It all comes back. Mm-hmm. And yet, now that I'm way older, I'm getting things that I could never have gotten.
Of course.
As a slight teenager. But man, so I'm already thanking you for this experience because it was so great to revisit.
I'm glad
those albums.
It's fun to do. I mean, that's why. I mean, I started this podcast again. I'm so sorry, audience, because I've told this story 1,000 times. But I started the podcast because I made my best friend over 2 tapes. One was a best of Cheech and Chong, and the other one was a Weird Al album. Great. And like Weird Al is like our personal god because like he made our friendship happen. It's like this one, and I've since been.
Did you get to meet him?
I have met him twice, and I was in one of his music videos. So I mean, that's pretty cool, right? He won't do this podcast, but he is still very kind.
Why wouldn't he?
We can talk about it off the air because I don't think it's him that doesn't want to do the podcast necessarily.
Let's talk to him.
Okay.
All right. He's a giant in the business.
And he's the nicest man.
Right.
100%.
So you got to get to him.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I know. I should have just asked him when I did tap him on the shoulder once. I said, "Hey, Al, double." And he said, "Oh, thanks so much." Like the nicest. I assaulted the man by tapping him on the shoulder, and he's still so nice.
Well, Lin-Manuel says he owes everything to him.
Right. I know, and I love that. I love that this man, this friggin' Genius Grant winning, whatever. We've got things in common. Yes. That's what's important. Me and Lin-Manuel, we're basically the same person.
Right.
So did you have this box set growing up is the question, or did you pick the box set because you'd heard them all separately?
My friend Mitch Barber, I met him in junior high, mm-hmm. and his father was hilarious. He was like the real comedian in my parents' friends. My father was very funny in a very old school Jewish Catskills way.
Sure.
But Lenny Barber, I thought was relevantly funny.
Okay.
Like could make a kid laugh and really cared about making a kid laugh.
Okay.
And so I loved him and I loved Mitch. I loved the whole family. And they had this record. Mm-hmm. And I never heard of these guys.
Really? Okay.
Around the same time that this 2,000-Year-Old Man came out, mm-hmm. The box set, I think they had done it in 1960. I wanna say.
Originally, it was 60. I think they did. Let me look. It was 60, 61, and 62 or something.
Right.
They were right after the other. Yeah.
But I didn't know them. Obviously, I was born in 1960.
Yeah, but
I have since come to know both men. Carl much better. But they were the evolution of the sketch was they did it at parties.
Right.
And they were both writers on Your Show of Shows, which I also saw that same year, 73.
okay.
10 from Your Show of Shows. A movie came out. Do you know this movie?
No.
So it's the producers of Your Show of Shows, or the producer Max Liebman, put together 10 sketches, 10 of the best sketches from Your Show of Shows. And in 1973, this could actually play in movie theaters.
Yeah. I would go today, just for the record.
Right?
Yes, that's amazing. Okay.
I laughed. I've told this before. I laughed harder than I've ever laughed in my life. I literally fell out of my chair at 13 years old in the theater, especially at the sketch, which everyone acknowledges is maybe the best sketch of all time. This Is Your Story, which is a take on This Is Your Life.
Sure.
Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
All right, stop listening to this, everybody.
Yep,
Put it on pause.
and
Go to
watch it.
YouTube.
I'm sure it's on there.
And look up This Is Your Story from Your Show of Shows.
Okay.
Sid Caesar was a genius, and, it had the greatest writer's room in the history of writer's room, with, at one point through the Sid Caesar years, including Your Show of Shows and Caesar's Hour, there was Larry Gelbart, who went on to write MASH and Tootsie, and he's one of the most brilliant minds. Neil Simon, Woody Allen, Carl Reiner, Mel Brooks, they were all there. And Mel Brooks was, of course, the crazy one, the room monkey. And at parties, he and Carl would do bits. And the 2,000-year-old man evolved from being at a party and Carl just turning to him and saying, "I'm with the 2,000-year-old man," right?
So silly.
And then the way they recorded the albums was they invited friends to the recording studio.
Really? See, that I didn't know. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if these were live audiences, like big sellout
I think
shows.
they became,
Eventually, okay.
like in 2000, you can hear the difference between
sure.
the original 2,000-year-old man, which is a small group, with it's almost like a smattering of applause at the end, to giant laughs and giant applause.
Yes.
2006-year-old man.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Which I'm assuming they must have recorded literally 6 months later.
I'm imagining so, but with probably lots of practice in between at parties.
Sure. Yeah.
What I love about these records, there's other sketches on them. It's not just the 2,000-year-old man. There's really funny stuff. Some of it's dated, of course. So you can't expect anything topical to really translate today. But a lot of it is universally funny still. And a lot of the credit goes to, first of all, Carl Reiner's brilliance as a straight man setting up Mel, but then Mel's almost musical ability of rhythm and timing and personality. And the premise of these things is so funny that you can get by without even having great one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
Someone like Woody Allen relied on the genius of the writing of the one-liner. I'm not saying they don't have that.
For sure.
Mel and Carl.
But
Mel had this force of personality that you laughed at literally everything he said because of the way he said it.
he sells several non-jokes on all of these that are just non-jokes.
Just hilarious.
I was trying. He clearly pulled it out of his ass, but it's so passionate and delightful. It's like that was still the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I like that you say delightful, because that's not something you think of always when you think of them or comedy in general.
Right.
But there's such a warmth and love of doing it and of getting people to laugh.
Yes.
And it's charming. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, zero cursing.
Right. Yeah. Right. Good
Nothing
call.
dirty. They refer to things,
For sure.
but they certainly have a sophisticated, both of them, sophisticated minds. They're going for something bigger. And as genius as the premises of the 2,000-year-old man and the wealth of material you can get from that, of a man who's lived for 2,000 years and has seen everything, and the persona is this old Jewish man, it's just so funny, because it's all about the attitude of the old Jewish man being witness to history and being involved with historical figures, the great and the near great. And then another sketch that I listened to just today again, after 40 years, is the 2-hour-old baby, which is another genius, universal, timeless premise.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It is. It is. We could talk about it in detail, but it's one of the sadder ones to me. It's very sad to me.
It is?
Yeah, as a very depressive, anxiety-ridden person, the idea of losing all consciousness that you've just had at the very end is very shocking to me still, even though it's a very funny bit.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Well, I like that. But it is a beautiful ending.
Yes, it is.
And in a world where sketches don't end very well most of the time, it's great to see it tied up like they had a forethought of where this would go and how it would end. They pretty much knew where to get out.
Yes, right.
They also had the benefit of editing these records.
True.
God knows how long the real sessions were.
I do wonder that myself.
Right?
Because I would imagine at least Mel Brooks is going on for as long as you'll let him.
Yeah. But then he also knew about editing. And you're seeing a guy who is in the zone. The two of them.
Yeah.
They are in the zone in a way that most comedians never get to.
Right.
Where literally everything you're hearing is great.
Yeah.
And inimitable. You know, just like iconic even. Certain things that stayed with us and let you listen to the record over and over.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite comedy albums, and I could have picked a dozen from my childhood because that's what I listened to. In fact, I preferred it over music. In fact, here's what a sicko you're talking to. I would go to sleep to them. Right?
That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to hear that.
And I'm talking about the Woody Allen stand-up years, and I know we're not allowed to say this now, but Bill Cosby, but George Carlin, and I was in love with the form.
Yeah.
And yet the Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner ones were so like, they combined the hipness with my father.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
And it was where I was as a teenager. And so when you hear him do the different psychiatrists at the convention or the different directors, different voices at the Cannes Film Festival, that's what I wanted to do, all the different characters.
Yeah.
And so I did. I became the actor in junior high, high school, college even. I became, not to be an actor, a serious actor, but to get laughs on stage without doing stand-up comedy, but by doing characters. That's what I wanted to do.
When I started this morning doing a little digging, I know enough about your work, but to do a little digging, I'm like, oh, I know this guy as this.
Yes.
I'm like, and I know you act, and I've seen you act in some very funny things. I'm like, wait, am I not digging back far enough? And then I do start digging. I'm like, oh, shit, he's been acting forever. You were doing that exclusively for
but I took
quite a while.
Giant break to write TV.
Yeah.
Which was fine.
Sure.
Because as an actor, I eat tuna fish for dinner. And as a writer in Hollywood especially, I ate whatever I wanted.
Of course.
And I thought, okay, this is who I am now. And I didn't care. I was working in the field that I loved.
Sure. Yeah.
So and I tell every actor to take a writing class, every writer to take a directing class. They're all branches off the same tree. And you, if you're in this business, you want to make the tree as strong as possible because you don't know, first of all, what your actual best strength is.
Sure.
And where your job's coming from.
Right.
You know,
why not have some options?
Yes, somebody could see me and say, look at that nose. We need that in the movie. Or, no, but can you write? Well, it turns out I can. I didn't know I could.
Right.
But we're writing all the time. And Mel Brooks, the number one thing he does is write.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's very much...
He can just do it faster than most.
Of course. And there's also very much, let's throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Even
sure.
I like when a joke doesn't land on these two. Like, a few of them do. But I'm just, a few of them don't land, I mean. I do like when he's just throwing shit out there to see what happens and, like, giggling at himself.
Still
and
funny.
It still works. I don't get that.
Yeah, they make a mistake, and they kind of make it work.
I love when he makes Carl laugh. Those are probably my favorite bits on the whole album because he's a perfect straight man. Perfect straight man, and probably one of the most underrated sitcom actors of all time, actually, too. But
I think they know where. I think through practice, trial and error, writing, remembering what worked in front of test audiences, they're certainly hitting those points.
Yeah.
because you can tell that's just too good to have come up with right
sure.
at the
Yeah,
second,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the timing is too great, and the way it ends is too, neat. But in a good way. I'm not disparaging at all.
Right.
But then there are those moments that he's spitballing for the first time and going off, and they're still amazing.
Do you know, and I don't know if you've asked them, I don't know if you've asked them about these bits, I don't know if you meet them and then it's weird to talk about the thing that you introduced them to you, but did they have any influence outside of just being themselves? Because I mean, Nichols and May, this is like a weirder, less polished Nichols and May in that it's a 2-person thing that they clearly worked out, but they didn't work it out on a Broadway stage. They didn't work it out in front of, they didn't get to finalize it on a Broadway stage. They're just doing it in front of friends.
I feel like they were doing this for fun.
Yeah.
And that's
just
it.
Exclusively. Yeah.
And that's it. It wasn't career-based.
Yeah.
They both had other careers.
Of course, yeah.
They both had giant careers. This was for fun. And we're very lucky it was recorded.
Yeah. Do you have a...
What else is like that?
No, there's very little.
It's singular, right?
I think so.
I can't think of any, because I'm glad we're talking about this, because it's making me realize that they did this as a lark.
Right.
At parties. And somebody said you should record this, right? And they did. It might have been Steve Allen.
Really? Makes sense. He was kind of a genius. So
and so maybe there's a lesson in that.
I mean, it's the same story as Bob Newhart. I mean, he had the same, and he'd never performed before. The stuff you hear on the Button Down Mind is all him on stage for the first time. That blows my mind. I don't know.
Is it the first time? Maybe
that's
the
what
second?
Everybody says. Maybe the second. But
but it's still
doesn't
super
matter.
early.
He's
like he
too
went.
good.
No, I know what it was. He went up once.
Yes.
They said, "You're amazing. We're going to record you." And that second time
that
was
makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, he's too good for being like, I hate him. I don't.
Yes,
hate him,
he worked in business.
Right. Yeah.
Amazing. But still, he was doing it to make a living as a stand-up comedian. These guys had nothing to prove. They were giants in television and soon-to-be movies and theater and everything else. And this was just 2 geniuses having fun. I think maybe we should pursue the things that we love.
Yeah.
And that's where maybe our best work comes from.
Yeah.
I can tell you that what I do now, this travel show, is me having fun. It's not what I'm known for.
Right.
I want to be known for it now that I do it.
Of course.
But it started from being frustrated with the other business.
Yeah.
And saying, what do I really... If you're going to bang your head against the wall, why not pick the wall you really, really love?
For sure.
So that's why I'm doing this. So even that influence has been made on me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I will admit, I try not to be cynical, but my assumption with travel shows is always, free food and travel is nice. So that's always the assumption. But I do love that it was a genuine passion for you. It's something you I mean, it's clear. I really love the show.
Thank you.
It's something that I find...
I had to have a reason for it to exist,
right,
other than me eating.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Because that would, I think, get boring. So I think if you've seen the show, you get it, that I'm trying to get you to travel. And I honestly believe that the world would be better if we all could experience a little bit of other people's experience.
For sure.
So there's a point to it. There has to be, in everything we do, in everything in entertainment that we write, there has to be a point to it. And there's a point to Mel and Carl. This look at history and the understanding of history. These are not stupid guys doing it.
Right.
They have a take on something that, if you're uneducated, you're not laughing.
Right. I very much like, also, you reminded me, one of my favorite things about the 2,000-Year-Old Man is that he's forgotten Hebrew. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but I just love that
great.
I don't speak
Because
anymore.
Mel doesn't.
Right.
And when he tested him on it, he has that excuse.
So perfect.
Yeah, I haven't needed it for 2,000 years.
Do you... Okay, so just for those who don't know, this consists of 3 different albums. It's 2,000 Years, then 2001 Years, and then Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks at the Cannes Film Festival.
And then there was an additional album, 2013.
Yes, 13, which is also a very good album. It also holds up.
And so you had to buy that too.
Right, of course. Then they did one in the year 2000 also.
That's right.
But it was only on CD, so I can't talk about it on here.
But I would like to do... I have this dream. I'd like to do a documentary about the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Do you know that Mel goes over. They're both widowers. Mm-hmm. They're in their 90s.
Right.
Carl is about 4 years older. He's 96. Mm-hmm. Mel comes over to Carl's house every night.
Right.
Maybe if you saw the Comedians in Cars
Yes.
getting coffee, they showed a little bit of their routine.
Mm-hmm. I was just sitting there being jealous of Jerry Seinfeld the whole time, so I couldn't.
Me too.
See through
I've
the rage.
thought, having gone over there and seen a little bit of the interaction, that this is documentary. This is, you start with them, with Mel, they sit with TV trays in 2 chairs like this, and they're looking at Carl's big screen TV, and the lady brings them dinner.
Sure.
And then Mel makes his way over to the couch, and Carl stays in the easy chair, and they watch movies. And I asked Carl, what kind of movies do you watch? And he said, we look for movies that have the line, secure the perimeter, in them. And invariably what happens is Mel falls asleep during the movie on the couch, and Carl makes his way upstairs to bed.
That's the most adorable thing.
And then in the morning, Mel isn't there. He's gotten up and left, and the next night it's the same thing. And it's adorable, and I thought, what a great starting point for a movie. And then as maybe they drift off to sleep, you take their careers both separately and together, and the documentary is about how these 2 giants influenced comedy for the rest of time.
Yeah.
While preparing one last 2,000-Year-Old Man.
Oh, that would be so good.
Come on, if you're listening, people, let's give me the money to make this movie.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do this movie. Actually, I don't need your money. I need you to convince Mel that this is worth doing, and I'm the guy to do it.
I have somebody. I can't. He'll get so pissed at me if I even mention too much of it. He desperately wants to record this same one more 2,000-Year-Old Man, but in a very specific way. I guess I'll tell you off mic. It's very interesting and fascinating. I would love to see this very thing happen.
Well, this could be part of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, see, we're joining forces.
Yeah, this is very good. I'm a kingmaker. What can I do? Do you have a favorite of these 3 discs, though? Do you care? Or is it just like it's all the same for me? Or
it's very important that people get all 3. Is it downloadable?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, because I tend to rip my own. I'm trying to remember. I think so.
Well, listen, you kids out there, you have the vinyl now. You can probably find this somewhere.
For nothing.
Yeah. So get it and listen in order, because you hear the evolution of the characters.
Yes.
So I can't say one's better than the other.
Okay.
It is a charge to hear the first one.
Yeah.
Then it's a charge to hear how 6 months later, these are now friggin' superstars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I believe the 3rd disc does it have the 2,000?
It does. Yeah, it has... it's actually the 3rd track on the whole album, though.
Got it.
So, yeah.
I didn't get to listen that far today.
Okay.
I listened to the Cannes Film Festival. That was really funny.
Yes. Adolf Hartler.
Yeah, I think they wanted to shake it up a little. Mercurochrome. So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're all I can say is they're in the zone. You've never heard anything like it. You've never heard seemingly spontaneous improvisation be so good.
Right. I do need to know if the tapes still exist that you did as a child. And if they exist,
I gotta find
do you
it.
need them digitized? And then can we put them on this podcast?
You wouldn't like them.
I don't care. you don't understand.
I think
I'm an archivist at heart. So that's
one of the things we did as teenagers, and these are 13, 14 years old I'm talking about, when you have no idea what's proper, what's right, what's wrong.
Sure.
Was to make fun of our neighbors in the most, heartless.
I have video of us doing the same thing.
We had no compunction about really and we also made phony phone calls because we'd heard about those things, and practical jokes and all this stuff, and stuff that I would be mortified if my kids did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you develop empathy later. I certainly didn't have much then because I was watching people like Mel and Carl. Mel seems to be making fun of people in many of these sketches, many of which are politically incorrect today.
Of course, yeah.
You can't do, these accents of all the different
Germans
ethnicities.
are still on the board,
but
so just so everybody knows, you're still allowed to do that.
You can't take away a guy's bread and butter. But there's other ethnicities, I think, that would And yet, there's an equality in that he's making fun of everyone.
Sure.
A Texan, a Jew, a German, an Indian, right?
Yeah.
He's an Italian, a Greek. He's doing all the voices, and it's pretty much what Sid Caesar did.
Yes.
And in more innocent times, I'm not saying right or wrong.
No,
I'm saying that no one really meant any harm whatsoever.
Sure.
Which might have been actually the most harmful thing.
Right.
Is that these things were prevalent, and if we never thought for a second, well, wait a minute, what if you were an Indian person? Mm-hmm. How would you feel being made fun of in the same way all the time? And this is something that persists to this day.
Yes.
There's still a battle over it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's all part of evolution. It's all part of getting woke.
Sure.
But in the early 70s, we weren't as woke.
That's fine. I mean, I say that's fine, but it's like yeah, I don't know
Better
where else
to have become woke, though. Isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
here's the thing. That is a constant position of this show, and I feel like I have to tiptoe around that and walk on eggshells because I don't know if my guest is going to be a little less so, because you never know. I have plenty of people I respect who are just like, no, I want to say what I want, whenever I want, with impunity. And it's like, okay.
You have to the audience has to understand the context and the times.
Yes, for sure. That's important. That's just as important as understanding, the 1, 2, 3 of the joke. That's
Right.
fine. I agree. Do you have a favorite bit on any of these?
Oh, God.
I know it's impossible.
There's
you can just say the
so
2,000-year-old
many.
man. Although, the Peruvian... Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Anything that makes fun of a Nazi is always
Really
going to be...
funny.
He, I'm weaned on that because my parents let me watch enough Mel Brooks.
Yes.
And it just becomes my favorite thing. So I guess that might be why that's my favorite. I love when he makes fun of Nazis. It's just
Hilarious.
always funny. Why would it not be?
Did Hitler have any faults? He asked him. Yeah, losing the war was one. He says, so good.
It's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
And I did not think I'd be able to burn through all 3 of these in a day because I try to listen to these the same day we record them.
shorter
so
then.
they're fresh. Yes,
They were like a half hour.
That's also the bonus. Yeah, they're not long albums, and they're quick. They know when to get in and get out.
Yeah.
Which is weird because some of them are 9 minutes but don't feel like a 9-minute sketch, which is weird to me.
They're dense.
There's a lot of old, and I've since learned after trying to listen to a comedy album a day last year and failing about a third of the way through, realizing most comedy albums are shit. And so you have to kind of realize that there's a reason these still survive because they're that good.
You're right.
And it's, we're very
I think
lucky.
pound for pound, the Woody Allen stand-up years, line for line, best stand-up material ever written.
For sure.
I think.
Yeah.
This is a different animal. These are sketches. And these are some of the best sketches ever put to record.
I want to know, again, I don't know how much I do want to know what percentage of this we're hearing is 100% fresh, what they'd done the night before. I'm sure there's no record of it. I'm sure at this point they wouldn't care to talk about it, but I would be curious to know.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask Carl that very question.
Okay.
I never asked him.
All right.
I do know that they did it at parties.
Yes, right.
I never asked him, were you writing stuff down? Were you just remembering what worked?
Right.
Were you truly improving on the night of recording? That's highly doubtful.
Right. I know.
Comedians
We've
tend to
discussed this a
remember-
bunch on the show, so I don't know.
Comedians tend to remember what works and put it in the back of their minds.
For
right?
sure.
Robin Williams would claim not to consciously steal other comedians' material.
Right.
And if you ever had the chance to see him live, which I did, like getting up at a tiny club and jumping around and just seemingly spitball.
Yeah.
However, spitballing means saying the first thing that comes in your head.
Of course.
And sometimes the first thing that comes in your head is a line you heard somewhere else.
100%.
Purposely, not purposely, you're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you're on a high wire with a spotlight on.
Right.
And you're going to say whatever works.
Yeah.
Right?
No governor, no writer's room.
Yes. So there's that.
Yeah. Do you mind if we're going to get back to this, but
okay.
since I did this research,
Yeah.
do you mind if I ask you just a little quick, hey, why don't you tell me about such and such?
Okay.
Just because there's some things that popped up that I didn't expect to find.
Fine.
Again, mostly because I was like, how much acting did he do? Oh, all of it. Like, I didn't know that how much of your past it was.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me when somebody, like, if honestly, like, so I got like a subscription to like a newspaper service, and then I do a little bit of research. I'm like, Phil Rosenthal. Well, no, only look in New York this period, and only look in LA this
Hope
period.
you didn't
blah,
find
blah,
the
blah, blah,
porn.
blah, blah, blah. Well, no, not yet.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to talk about it on the show. That's what's important. But it's interesting because you're all over the place as an actor, and then when you go behind the scenes, you go behind the scenes until you feel like coming out and talking. And it's just interesting to me. So there are a few shows on that get listed here and there. There was something that was in development called Such a Match with Joan Rivers. Do you remember this, and what the hell was it?
I certainly wasn't an actor on
No,
that.
you were not. You wrote on it. I did.
We wrote a pilot.
Yeah,
That's all.
That's all it is.
My
Okay.
friend and I, there were several failed pilots that never saw
course.
the light of day.
These are always curious. Though.
When we first got to town in 1989, we wrote a lot of stuff. You wrote spec material. I remember the Joan Rivers thing. We met with her. We loved her. She was funny. And then nobody wanted it.
Yeah, I know. It's not going to be a huge story, but you're always curious if something stood out in terms. Don't drink the water. That's the first thing that shows up for you.
Holy cow! I'm 15 years old and I'm playing the Jackie Gleason role in Don't Drink the
That's
Water.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's a picture too.
By the way, because of Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner, because of Ralph and Norton, because of the people I was emulating, my wheelhouse was not the normal wheelhouse of a 15-year-old boy.
Right.
I was already 70 years old and totally got that humor.
Yeah.
So I always played the old man in the school play. First of all, look at me. I'm not the leading man. I'm a character actor. That's all I ever wanted to be.
Yeah.
The funny one.
Of course.
So that was, I could do that.
I had a sneaking suspicion we had that in common, that we've always been old men. I just had it. I wish there's a better quality picture of it, but there's you.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there are pictures in a lot of these.
Amazing.
And it's great. I love being able to see these old things.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's a delight. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Well, hey, and I love that it's actually, okay, what is this one? Verona. Oh, well, I'm sure it's Two Gentlemen Verona. It just says Verona. That was high school. I was 16 years old. I played Lawrence, who was the comic character. I came on stage with a dog and did a monologue with a dog that tore the house down because, not of me, but there was this one moment that I'll never forget, and it's something that got ingrained at me at 16 years old. I did this whole speech, Shakespearean. The dog is sitting next to me. I do the speech. I look at the dog. The dog yawned. That's beautiful.
What I did well was hold. And then just look at the audience. Like I had seen on The Honeymooners, like I had seen on Your Show of Shows, like I had seen the great comedians do. But you have to have the dog that participates and even creates the moment for you.
Oh, that's
it's
so
one of the.
amazing.
I'm so happy that you found this stuff because it's such a happy memory of a moment on stage that you can't duplicate.
Of course.
Not in 100 years, but it's almost, I could almost blame that dog for ruining my life for years and years of struggle because I'm chasing that moment.
Of course. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like I should point out that the name of the reviewer, do you know the name?
I'm going to say Bunny Crumpacker.
100%.
Who would give me
That's a
the
name.
review of my life the following year because there was a play that we did in our senior year.
Let's see.
And it was a musical a Broadway musical written by Neil Simon for Sid Caesar. After Your Show of Shows, it was called Little Me, and Sid Caesar played 7 roles. And because I was in love with Sid Caesar, with Your Show of Shows, because I was in love with Mel Brooks playing all those characters, because I truly could do those characters, they did that show for me in my senior year.
Holy shit. That's amazing.
And Bunny Crumpacker. She gave me a very good review.
Well, as she should. I mean, this
and
one.
then you chase
what
that
is
the
this
rest
thing
of your
else?
life.
I've got to find it because I feel like I must have seen that. 76. What year are we thinking?
That
about
would
now?
be 77.
77.
So only 40
What is
years
this
ago.
one then? Yeah, right.
And look how I still wallow in the past.
Oh, this one's from A Good Man, Charlie Brown. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
That was our senior play in the fall of that year, and then the big spring musical would have been the spring of 77.
Okay. what am I looking at here? All I know what year. Here's what stood out to me. This again, it's another Bunny Crumpacker joint. That's important. The Man Who Came to Dinner.
No,
Hold on.
I wasn't in that.
I know you're not in that. It's something. Your name is in here somewhere. It's killing me. It's killing me because I know your name is in here somewhere. Well, regardless, your name was on here, and what excited me was that there's also an ad for Mel Brooks' silent movie on the same page, which I thought was good. Why can't I find it? Well, that's a failure on my part. Who cares? All right, Little Me is the next one, right? Is that the one we were just talking about?
The one I was talking about, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's just, there's a picture.
Probably the pinnacle of my acting career was when I was 17.
There's a photo.
And I was with the most beautiful girl in the school, Jessica Goldstein, who, because it was written, had to be in love with me.
Yes.
Well, why would I ever leave acting?
Yeah, of course.
This was not happening in real life.
Here we go. This is Bunny Crumpacker's review. 7-part performance shines in Little Me.
Isn't that nice? I remember the last line.
The last line. There's one more performance of Little Me tonight. I was just going to read that.
That's funny.
Let's see.
Maybe it's the line right above that.
I'm gonna guess. Well, I'll read the line before that and set it up a little bit. About 500 people were in the audience Friday night. They all loved Phil Rosenthal.
Come on.
Come on.
So now,
come on.
How do you not say, well, I guess this is what I do now?
Of course. That's a drug.
It is.
That is a drug.
Terrible.
And Bunny Crumpacker held
maybe
the
she
needle.
ruined my life. That dog and Bunny Crumpacker ruined my life. Because you believe this when you're a kid.
Of course, 17.
You believe it.
If anybody had ever supported me at 17,
no,
my
and
God.
girls. I had girls. Girls were like knocking on the door. Hey,
yeah, of course.
We like you.
Yeah.
So of course I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Here's you in The Odd Couple. How quick
1978
next year?
So I'm 18. So I'm already an old man now.
Yeah,
and I'm playing
I
Oscar.
love so much.
Yeah.
Is the other gentleman also your same age? You look like you're about the same age.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so one more.
Yes.
One or two more.
Yes.
Here's the one that kind of blew me away. Is it Tony and Tina's wedding? This
yes.
is the premiere. This is like.
These were friends of mine in college.
Okay.
Who started a comedy sketch troupe that I was too afraid to be in.
Okay.
Until they needed a priest for their off-Broadway production of Tony and Tina's Wedding, and I co-wrote the show with them. In fact, I had to write all my lines as the priest in this show, and that became a hit.
Yeah.
It became a giant off-Broadway hit, and it's being done somewhere in the world. I'd like to stop your podcast now to complain that I don't see a dime from this show. In fact, let's take the rest of our time so I can complain about
let's do that.
This thing.
Can we start though with, is that a wig?
Yes, a blonde wig.
Yeah, it's
I
a
played
very shiny
a
wig.
priest from Denver.
Okay.
This was not exactly typecasting.
I love it so much. Actually, that is the final thing, because the next thing is legitimately just about Raymond is about to premiere. That's the other little bit that I find.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And you
I spent 5 years in between there in Hollywood writing for other people's sitcoms.
Sure.
And I did sell a screenplay that same year that we wrote that, since now I was a writer all of a sudden.
Was that a surprise to you, though? Did you know you were a writer?
No.
No.
What I realized was we write everything.
Yeah.
Everything we say.
Sure.
Is we're writing right now. I just didn't realize that if I literally physically wrote it down, it could be worth something.
All right. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
You don't always catch it. I mean, you can pretend. A lot of us try to rewrite our histories and pretend we have these noble beginnings as a writer when it's just oh shit, right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
A friend of mine came to me with a word processor in 1988 and said, "You're kind of funny, and he's already a writer, comedy writer. Let's write the screenplay." And I said, "I don't know anything about a screenplay." And he said, "You don't have to. I know structure.
Right.
You just do characters and be funny."
Yeah.
And so we did it together, and we sold that screenplay.
Holy shit.
To HBO for if I had $200 in the bank at this time, we sold a screenplay in 1988 for $70,000. This was I was a thousandaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And now I could go out for dinner.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
It's like hitting the lottery.
Right.
So that was a very big deal. And then that was my path.
Yeah. That's insane to me. I mean, I know there are a lot of stories like that, but to not know you're a writer to
Yes.
to go to selling the
Yes.
first thing you actually commit.
Well, I'm going to give at least half the credit to my friend Alan
of course,
Kirschenbaum.
as you should.
Yeah.
No, that's reasonable. You must have picked up Ray Romano's spirits after he didn't do news radio. That's a big part of my life is news radio. It's my favorite show of all time.
Yes.
And I was watching Raymond at the same time, of course. But it's just a weird part of history to me that just like he was
cast in news radio 2 years before Raymond, maybe?
Right.
Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think they were shooting news radio in 94 originally. Yeah.
After the table read of the pilot, they fired him.
Right. That's so weird to me.
And I'm glad they did.
Of course you are.
Yes.
Of course you are. I have been thinking long and hard about how I do this, but I do want to do an April Fool's episode of our news radio podcast where it turns out he did get the part, and like that's how we talk. That's basically the only like that Raymond never happened. So I'm sorry that in this alternate universe Raymond didn't
never happened.
But you know, unless you did, everybody loves Joe Rogan.
Instead of my house, we'd be doing this podcast from my car.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's a noble pursuit. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I want you to recommend the album. So let's say nobody knows. There's a chance there's some people who just don't even know who Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner are if you're young enough. So why listen to this album? Say you don't know them. Say you don't know them from their albums. You just know them from movies and TV.
Do you enjoy laughing, people?
It's good.
Maybe that's a good enough reason.
I think so.
You want to hear something truly funny, timelessly funny?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Two guys in the zone at the top of their form, at the top of their careers, having fun. I guarantee you will laugh.
And it's the kind of joy that makes you want to do it yourself.
Yes.
Still,
Yes.
if I listen to it, I'm like,
Yes.
why am I not in a room with my best friend improvising right now?
Absolutely right.
And it inspired, I think we talked about it a minute ago, or before we started, is that Scott Aukerman was the last person to talk about this.
Yes.
And his entire podcast is based on this format. So it's 9 years of 2,000-year-old, just filthy versions of the 2,000-year-old man.
Funny.
And he does fully credit it as he should. Do you, so that's a good enough reason to listen to it. Have you ever, here's something. Have you ever appeared on or written part of or been in any way involved with a comedy album? Some people are and then forget. So that's why I have to ask.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm open to it.
All right. Okay, good. I'm making a comedy album now. So you're committing, if I understand correctly, no. But
I've been on lots of podcasts. If
Yeah.
anybody made an album of those podcasts, I'd be on them.
You're very good on podcasts. I'll give you that
Thank
too. I want to ask you about the Writers Guild Foundation.
Love it.
This episode is going to come out before my Writers Guild Foundation episode comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like you to talk about it. I wonder why it's important enough to you to support.
Listen, this being Hollywood, the writer is at the bottom rung, right? And so we need to protect each other, and the foundation does this. It also preserves the history of writing in Hollywood. And so I've donated to the foundation, which is the physical library where everything is stored. Listen, I want my work remembered.
Of course.
Selfishly, even.
Of course.
And the work of other people like Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. I want that preserved.
Yeah.
And I want everybody's work preserved so that there's a history to relate back to.
Yeah. It's amazing the stuff that they have there. I mean, for the script library alone,
It's great.
it's remarkable the stuff that's there. And I mean,
And to you young people out there,
Yeah.
go
Yes.
and check it out because you're going to learn something from the people that came before us.
the public can go there. I should make that
Yes,
clear.
none of us exist alone.
Right.
We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner, Norman Lear. These are the greats. Neil Simon. You want to read their work. You want to read the great sitcoms and see how a script is put together.
Yeah.
Because that's job number one. You can't make the show without the script.
Absolutely true.
And if you want to be a sitcom writer or any kind of writer, look at the scripts.
Yeah. They have nice leather-bound versions you can go and look at. It's like so comforting. And
Yes.
One of the things she showed me, and this, I guess we're going to talk about it in advance, but she showed me some of Mel Tolkin's collection, including folder after folder of every program from every episode of your show of shows. Just they're in a nice little binder, and I got to look at now I don't know that everybody gets to see that. I'm very special is what I'm saying. But you got to look at all these programs and just see who's hosting that night and who the fuck is. It's just blew my mind.
Yep.
And that there's a resource there, and if you need to do research, they're available for that. They're very helpful people. So I don't know. It's a place that I'm going to be volunteering at soon, and I just feel like people should know about it, that it exists, because it's a good place. It's a good place.
That's great that you're doing that.
It's exciting to me. It's if I had a library science degree, it'd be the kind of place I'd work. But you have to be, you have to be committed to something that isn't making an ass of yourself. That's what I do mostly.
That's all I do is the opposite.
That's fine. Let's talk about Somebody Feed Phil.
Oh, yes.
Because I love it.
It's on Netflix.
You're the only person I can watch eat on television and not feel like I want to vomit. So thank you for that.
Wow. I'm the only one?
I think so.
Wow.
Maybe Anthony Bourdain, fine. Anthony Bourdain, genius, brilliant, wonderful, fun to
irreplaceable.
Watch, eat. Of course.
Anthony Bourdain.
Of course.
Superhero.
But no, I will say nobody has a yummy face like Phil Rosenthal. It is a thing that makes me enjoy the show so much. Like your sheer Joe. You're sheer Joe. I meant to say Joy.
Yes.
But I misspoke.
I am. There's no acting in that.
Yeah.
I am truly having the time of my life. I love doing it. I hope I never stop.
It's a lot of fun to watch, so people should watch it. It's on Netflix.
Thank you.
And also they showed that there's a precursor to it, which was...
I'll have what Phil's had.
Thank you. There we go. I forgot it for a second. And then your parents were a delight on that show as well. Do you have anything else to promote? You want anything else for people to know about at the moment?
Nope.
Nothing. Just the show.
Just that.
Just the show.
How many things can people remember?
Can we watch Raymond anywhere? Am I not
TV
thinking
Land,
about it?
it's on.
Okay.
Local stations, it's on.
That makes sense.
Thank goodness.
Of course.
It's
What
on
am I
all
thinking?
over
It's
the
not gonna be
world.
streaming.
I'm very
We don't need
lucky.
to. Yeah.
It's on in actually original languages now. Like I made a documentary about taking the show to Russia.
So much fun.
And turning it into Everybody Loves Kostya. Mm-hmm. That movie is called Exporting Raymond. You can find that.
It's also great to watch.
I guess that's everything.
Okay.
I have some home movies if you want to see.
Okay, that's good. I do really want to hear the tape you don't want me to hear, though. I got to admit. The tape of you and your friend being Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks.
Being idiots.
Yeah. If you find it and you're comfortable digitizing it,
all right.
I'm just saying, it's out there.
I wonder where it is.
I don't know. I'm hoping you find it. I've convinced other people to do more. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I can be very persuasive. That sounds like a threat. That was not a threat. Well, thank you again for doing the show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Everybody, go watch Somebody Feed Phil. Go to the Writers Guild Foundation. Go to CelerySoundRecords.com. That's my little comedy record label. Go to LookingForwardMovie.com. That's hopefully going to be a movie before Election Day. Fingers crossed. We don't know. And then that's about it. There's just one thing left to say, and that is have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of StolenDress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Worden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klom. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. You can email us at podcast@comedyonvinyl.com. You can also send snail mail to StolenDress Entertainment, P.O. Box 805, Burbank, California, 91503. Subscribe to Comedy on Vinyl on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating and write us a review. It helps. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Comedy on Vinyl, or find everything in one place at comedyonvinyl.com. A major portion of Comedy on Vinyl has been underwritten by Stand Up Records. Please visit standuprecords.com for all your comedy needs, and tune in to the new Stand Up Records channel available on the Roku, where you can also find select episodes of this podcast. Visit StolenDress.com to listen to our other podcasts, watch videos, and imbibe freely of our multimedia content going back 15 plus years.